who the hell do you think you are? People just think you're like super nerdy. This could be romance.
Romance?
This could be romance.
Oh, romance.
Just socially awkward people who just try to find love.
Oh.
There are things happening between, you know, an elf and a human that don't happen in the show.
Well, unless it didn't involve a dwarf.
Hey, podcast kittens, it's Cathy Cat and
Ladybeard coming at you with another import-export business operating installment of
Cat with Beard.
How are you, my dear friend?
I am fantastic. It is getting hotter.
It's getting lovely. It's getting wonderfully hot.
Hot.
You've got transparent sleeves on, which will be appropriate for the weather.
Exactly, and it covers me against the sun at the same time. We're trying not to tan too much, you know, premature skin aging and all that.
It's like a full-body parasol is what it's like.
Yes.
Mosquito net? Wrong. I picked the wrong piece of
don't
fabric.
call my dress a mosquito net.
Oh, he's going to keep...
Okay,
but no Mozzie's getting his long stabber in through this, is he? Come on now. Come on. It's keeping your skin safe from horrendous blood-sucking critters of the rainforest.
Exactly, and it keeps away the deadly spiders that you guys have in Australia. Ooh.
Yeah, if I saw you in Australia, thank you for coming out. Good to see you, friends.
Yeah, no toxic spiders, but a lot of having fun peoples and
maybe yeah, it was a good time. I was going to say something about Tekla because she's the toxic spider.
I thought that the moment I said toxic spider, legit.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something and I went on. Nah, I can't come up with something fast now.
So Australia, this time of the year, what kind of temperatures are you looking at?
Oh, cold. It's cold. It's cold. Okay. It's cold. It's the worst time to go to Australia. Yeah, August is really the worst time to go to Australia. Anywhere in the southern half. In the north, it's always hot because it's tropical up there. Yeah.
Just for a moment while we're chatting here, our episode today is actually about otaku cultures and otaku's unwritten manners in Japan.
Oh,
so since we are talking, you did otaku culture. We are both part of otaku culture in our own way. There are a couple of rules here in Japan that you might not know and you should know before you come so you don't kind of get hated on by other otakus, other geeks in Japan.
Yeah, you want to be quite sensitive to the unwritten rules in Japan, just across the board, because most rules in Japan are staunchly followed, but not written down at all. And you're going to there's no way to know about them until you kind of enter the community, mess it up, and then someone takes you aside and says, by the way, that's not really how we roll.
Yeah, or in Japan, sometimes people will actually never tell you that you do things wrong because they're also trying to trying not
to be rude. That's right.
To be rude. So
it could be a real problem.
That could be a big thing. Sometimes you will never be called out and you keep repeating the same mistake and actually create more hate by doing that. In a lot of ways in Japan, we talked about a lot of Japanese culture, like rules and manners before, but this one is for the subculture, for those who are geeks and nerds and otakus.
Specifically, if you're doing your anime stuff, if you're doing your manga stuff, you're doing your game stuff, all the stuff that we imagine a lot of our audience is really quite into, this one's for you for when you come to Japan.
Exactly, because you want to enjoy Japan to the most and like enjoy your hobby at the most, and you don't want to have Japanese people go, ugh, at the same time.
So just to recap, the Japanese love rules and they love following the rules, and Japan is a group-centric society. So it's whereas Western cultures are far more oriented towards the individual, here everything's oriented towards the group. And the most important thing is that harmony, or at least the illusion of harmony,
group harmony,
is maintained. So you do not want to rock the boat. No boat rocking.
Group harmony is more important than you getting your will done, getting it your way.
So when otakus started getting online in the 1990s, they would have their, message boards and their blogs and these kinds of things, right? And so when you got onto one of these, you were supposed to spend the first 6 months as a how do I say this? Hantoshiromure? Hantoshiromure. So you're supposed to spend 6 months ROM, read only member. That's right.
So I would translate that nowadays into lurker. That's the word that we would say in English, lurker. Someone who's just reading but not commenting.
Oh, is that
so? Yeah, you have lurkers, for example, during a live stream. I'm sure there were a couple of people who thought, oh, fantastic, you're doing this, but they're just a bit shy. They don't want to comment. So they're just reading, they're just watching, but they don't comment actively.
It turns out I'm a lurker. I don't comment on most things.
Well, there you go.
I just consume it and go, oh, thank you, and keep going.
Yeah,
All right, I'll go. Hey, you can call me Lurkybeard.
Hey! But so for half a year, it kind of, if you go to one of those boardrooms or like message panels and such, you're supposed to, for half a year, just read before you comment. Interesting. Because generally in chat rooms in the West, everyone has to come in and first introduce themselves.
Oh, really?
You know, you go in like, hi, my name is this and my name is that and I do that. We do that on my Discord, for example. People come in and they introduce themselves. If they want to, you don't have to. But
Really?
it gives other people an opportunity to say, hi, welcome in. If you don't write anything, people can't welcome you in.
Wow, see, these chat boards and that is really not something that I get involved in, to be frank.
You're too busy for that. You're too busy rocking it.
Yeah, and also it's just, I don't know, it's just something I just never did it. So this is all, even in the Western world, this is news to me. So look, Cathy Cat could be your educator today.
Woohoo.
In terms of how we do it in the Western world and how we do it in the non-Western world.
Not Western world, exactly. So the general idea is that otaku, they should show respect and don't bother people, right? Show respect to their art with the thing that they love, but also, you know, other people who might love it, also just general people who are not otaku. So try not to rock the boat and don't bother the general public.
Don't bother. The general public are easily bothered. I mean, good times will upset the general public very quickly and easily.
Yeah. And for example, a typical thing that Japanese and Western otaku do very differently is how they represent themselves. You see in the West, a lot of guys with t-shirts with their favorite anime character on. You don't really see that much in Japan. You see it maybe hidden, or it's just the color, or it's just a symbol, but it's not like bam, big picture of, for example, I spoke with the, I spoke with the manager of the Sailor Moon store.
Oh.
And she said, Western fans tend to want to buy items with big Sailor Moon on it. Bam! So you see, it's Sailor Moon, yes! But Japanese fans prefer just the ribbons or the brooches or like items that symbolize it but are not standing out too much.
Really?
So those kind of t-shirts, big difference between Japan and the West.
Is that interesting? That is not the case with metalheads in Japan. They want the biggest, most aggressive Slipknot shirt they can get.
Band t-shirts are different.
Oh, well, there we are.
But anime, it's rare. I mean, if you think about it, how often do you see a Japanese guy with like big anime girls on his t-shirt?
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. If you were to see someone like that, it'd be a foreigner.
Yeah, I think, right now, the people who are wearing big anime t-shirts in Tokyo that I see walking around, I think 90% of those are probably tourists and foreigners coming in right now.
Bless them.
And the longer you live here, the less likely you're supposed to do that. I have a lot of Sailor Moon t-shirts. I don't wear them out anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. What's happening with them?
Because people just think you're like super nerdy.
Oh,
Even though in the West it's like show off what you're wearing. Yeah. But if you wear something with a big face of a character on right now, in Japan it has like the image of you being a super nerd.
Oh, you need to get a series of Cathy Cat sized teddy bears that you can put these t-shirts on and that would display them. Yeah.
So that's one thing. Another big warning coming to otaku rules. Have you seen those people who come with like kind of erotic anime manga on their t-shirts? You shouldn't do that. There's been like some sort of like manga panels where you don't see what's happening, but just the kind of face that they're doing, you're like, I don't think this is appropriate. Don't wear that, guys.
It doesn't go down well.
You might think it's cool and edgy because like in your country it's cool and edgy. It's really not cool and edgy in Japan, and people will just think that's a weirdo.
Frowned upon. All right, so let's go through these matters one by one. Yes. Number 1. No cosplaying in public.
You cannot. I mean, it seems to be so fun, and probably in your country too, especially if there is an anime convention. A lot of people just love to put on their cosplay in their hotel room, and then they go to the convention center.
That's part of the joy.
Cosplay.
That's where all the interactions happen, in the corridors and whatnot. That's where
people be like, "Oh, why were you dressed up like that? What's going on? Why are so many people dressed up?"
On
the bus, on the train. Yeah. It's part of the fun in the West. In Japan, that's a big no.
Verboten. Very much forbidden. Yeah?
Yes, it's very much forbidden.
100% forbidden.
You caught me with that one.
I'm sorry. Very much forbidden.
A lot of events will actually not even let you in if you already get there in cosplay. They'll tell you off for that at the event site.
Yep. So you have to come in your regular clothes, and then they'll have a changing room at the event, and you have to change in the changing room.
Designated changing room. You can't also change in the toilets. You can't. The rule is you have to go to the changing rooms.
Get in big trouble for that. You get banned for that.
Yeah. I mean, also, it is part of tough rules because those changing rooms, think about how elaborate Japanese cosplay is with even the contact lenses and the wigs and all of that. You have to do that.
What have you?
Yeah, sometimes the mirror will not be free, so you're kind of sitting in the middle of the room trying to put that on.
Yeah.
But people will do that because it's just the rule, and you just got to get on with it.
You got to do it. That's exactly right. Because you can't disturb the general public or anyone else.
Exactly.
So that's the most important thing. Do not disturb.
I mean, that's also part of like the idea is that some cosplay can be very revealing, and then kids might see it on the train and that kind of stuff. So just don't rock the boat.
Yeah, you might give grandma a heart attack if she sees Goku get on the train, you know. She's like, next station, Takeshi. Ah! You know what I'm saying?
It's a Super Saiyan on my train.
The pacemaker goes off. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, like in the West, it's totally fine. In Japan, it's not. Just remember that. It's quite simple. If you go, for example, to the Ikebukuro one, the lines for like changing out of it at the end of the event will literally take an hour. It goes all the way around. I've seen it. People stand there for hours just so they can undress and not go back home in their costume.
It's very important. So that's actually, consider that with your day planning. You need to get there early enough. Depending on if you want to be one of the first people in the photo area getting your photo taken, you got to get there early enough. Are you talking like 3 a.m. to start lining up?
Do they even open that early?
Like Comic Cat, yeah. We'll start lining up outside Comic Cat so you can get in at like 9 or whatever. So you can get to the change room first, to get out to the photo area first, get out of the photo area first, to get back into the change room to change back and leave again. You know what I'm saying? You got to plan, you schedule your day when you go into Comic Cat.
Picking up the Comic Cat part, I think we're going to delve more into Comic Cat actually in the next episode.
Oh, we are?
We are going to delve into that, but since we mentioned that as well, in lots of events, there will be a designated cosplay photo area. So you cannot just go around like you would do it at your convention, go like, I love your cosplay. Can I take a picture? Yes. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You have to then take them to the designated picture area where it's okay to take a picture to then take pictures.
And what's interesting is as more and more tourists get involved in these events, of course, these rules are all unwritten, so no one knows.
Yeah.
So increasingly, if you follow the rules, it's very interesting. A lot of tourists are starting to get offended by you following the rules so as not to offend the Japanese. Like they'll say, can I take a photo just outside the photo area? And you'll be like, oh, we can't here. And they'll say, we can't take a photo? And they're all outraged. They're like, what are you doing at cosplay if you're not taking photos, you fool?
Yeah.
And you have to explain, no, because you can only take it over there. And they're like, by that time it's too late. You've already made an enemy. You've already made an enemy sums up 90% of Ladybeard's experience in the world. You've already made an enemy.
Metal anime. So, we're still at the... at cosplaying.
Yep.
And a lot of guys like to dress up as something strong during events, like, you know, some sort of soldier or officer and stuff like that. SWAT team, that kind of stuff. You cannot do that in Japan. Yeah,
because people might confuse you with an actual professional of that nature. So you dress up as a cop and you're like, woo, I'm a cop. You know, someone might rub up, oh, officer, thank God you're here. Come with me. And you're like, oh, dear. Yeah. A big problem.
I mean, it's also, I think, a bit of a gray zone. I think depending on which country you're from, that might also be forbidden in your country at conventions or only within the convention range. If you look too much the deal, you might have a problem with that. So police officers, firefighters, rescue workers, military uniforms, security guards, that kind of stuff. Even though, saying that, I've seen a lot of people for fashion a couple of years ago wearing the German military jacket with the German flag on it in Japan. That was like a trend. Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, we're doing that in Australia in the 90s as well.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like weird. But
I do remember that as well, actually. I remember them.
It was a big trend with that.
But there'd be no, unless we're in some extreme situation, which we're currently not, there'd be no German military officers in Japan walking around giving people orders.
You couldn't mistake them by accident for someone, which was the safe part. But as soon as you look like you could be mistaken, you have a problem. Like the firefighter anime. There was a firefighter anime. You dress up as that character if you want to. That's a bit, might be a bit of a problem.
Have you seen that movie, Let's Be Cops?
No.
Story. These two guys who go to a party or something and they dress up as cops and whatnot. And then it's kind of things like, we'll just take this cop car. And so bit by bit, more and more they seem more and more like actual policemen, and then of course they get mistaken for actual policemen, and hilarity ensues. So
I mean, the movie that's probably funny in Japan that could probably get you into prison.
You'll go to prison.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't
Next
do that.
step is do not damage the image of the character. That's a big one in Japan.
It's very interesting, actually. So if the character is the character, and the character represents what the character represents. So you are not the character, so don't go taking you and filthying up the character's image with you. So if you're a smoker and you're there in your Chun-Li cosplay, Chun-Li's not a smoker, so don't you be having a drag while you're dressed as Chun-Li. That's going to go over real badly.
So while you wear that character, you should not, do things that will make the character look bad. You said smoking, drinking alcohol, maybe gambling, having wild conversations, getting up to some ruckus you're not supposed to.
Yeah, like swearing loudly if you're a G-rated character or something.
Yeah, or think about someone cosplaying as Precure, like a magical girl character, super cute, but then squatting on the street and I don't know, doing something that really doesn't go with the character. You shouldn't do that because it'll just make people sad.
Here's a question. If you're cosplaying as some horrendous Yakuza type character, does that mean you're not allowed to do acts of charity? I
don't know. I think a lot of characters, like bad boy characters, smoke. So I've seen some characters who dress as gang members or something, like from the Gokushifudo, the the Yakuza husband one. With those ones there, you see them dressed like that, and you see them with fake tattoos, and some characters you see with fake cigarettes or something like that, but you're not sure if they're actually smoking it. I think that's a gray zone there. But you wouldn't, for example, do it for an anime girl.
Yeah, that's going to really go over very badly. So don't do that. Yeah, because when you're cosplaying the character, you're now, I guess you're a steward of the character's image temporarily. A temporary steward. Those are good words to put together, aren't they? A temporary steward of the character's reputation.
Just make me think of airplanes, but okay.
Okay, moving on. This one's interesting.
Yes. Cosplaying is not an impersonation. I think that's a big difference between the West and Japan.
So back in episode 2 or something, we had Yuriko Taiga on, if you remember. She was one of our first ever guests. So she spoke about when she cosplays, she is almost like a method actor when she does her best to kind of become the character. And once she's in costume, she's living as the character until she gets out of character.
She studies the poses, she studies the mannerism. That's part of actually studying to respect the character, to get as close to the character as possible. And while posing and such apparently generally is okay, if you go a step too far and you start to speak like the character or behave like the character, some people don't actually like that in Japan. That confuses me because for me, it just shows they really love the character. They put the effort in. But in Japan, some people don't like that. Is there an explanation?
Yeah, Shiori, would you like to contribute? Please explain.
So the idea is, you can show your respect to your favorite character, but you don't want to step on the official interpretation of the character. So what you do, thinking that you are the character, might offend the official creators of the character's interpretation of character, how they would behave in the situation like this, or how they would say or speak in the situation like this. That might be different. And also, each otaku has their own interpretation of the character. So what they, might think you should say could be different in the character.
So you, for example, you think the character would say or ask her, "Anta baka," in that situation, but maybe in a certain situation, she wouldn't really say that. That's just your interpretation of how she would react in a certain situation.
So hang on. So all right. So you're quite limited in your expression of the character then. You can be a visual representation of the character and pretty much that's it. You can be a model essentially, yeah?
Yeah. So your interpretation of your character can be represented by your posing or your photograph, but not you in real life.
Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but let me run this idea past you. It is like someone who dresses up as, say, Barbie.
Yeah.
Dresses as Barbie, wears the Barbie outfits, has cool pictures as Barbie. Different from someone says, "I am Barbie." and goes like, no,
Like
that's
that.
me. I am Barbie.
Like that person who had all
that's
the
it.
plastic surgery. You know that person who got all the plastic surgery to look like Barbie?
Don't know
Remember
about
that
that one,
person?
but I'm just trying to make the cosplay thing a little bit more. Is that the right direction?
Yes, exactly. So let's say there is Ladybeard cosplayer.
Yeah.
That's
Like
not
Caesar.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he knows that he is a cosplayer. It's
Yes.
not you, right?
Yes.
And he doesn't get plastic surgery to look like you.
Caesar already looks like me, so it's fine.
Yeah, but if he starts acting like you, talking like you, and then behaving like you, saying he is you, that's totally different dynamic, right?
That's when it becomes a bit uncomfortable, I guess. I'm not sure how you're feeling about it. I'm not sure if you think it's great, but
Have you started walking around? Well, yeah, I know my friend Caesar won't do this, but if someone else were to start walking around saying, I am Ladybeard, then I'd be like, well, you're clearly not, you know? So I don't personally, unless it were starting to get out of hand and people actually did think that was Ladybeard, then that might lead me to put up my hand and say, actually, but you know, I think we'd have to go pretty far down that path, that point to be reached.
but I think that's probably what they mean
That's the
with
point
like
that's
don't
being made. Yeah, okay,
impersonate
I
the
understand.
character.
Isn't that interesting? That's not the approach taken to the Western world at all. I think it'd be celebrated if you became the character as much as possible in the
Yeah,
Western
I
world.
think a lot of conventions, a lot of people love getting into the character and like throwing out a couple of famous lines from them and like reenacting scenarios.
Yeah.
I think that is still kind of okay, but I think once you are overdoing it, that's when people are like, nah.
And also, thing is, you can do it between your friends, but you're not supposed to do it in public.
Oh dear, really?
So you could like do that if you all as a cosplay group there, you could do that with each other. But if someone else is like dressed as a character and maybe from the same anime or gaming show, and you try to reenact that, they might be like, oh, I didn't want that.
So yeah, for example, at Comic-Con, you are not able to do it. But if you gather with your friends in your house doing a cosplaying, you know, domestic photo shoots or not, you know, filming video or something, then you can, you know, pretend to be in the character.
Really?
That's totally domestic. But once you start uploading your contents outside, like in public, then you're gonna get some trouble.
Really?
Maybe it's part of the who the hell do you think you are? Kind of,
Okay.
you know, who Nani-sama? Who do you think you are? Kind of like, do you think you're good enough? You look good enough to be this and that character? I assume maybe that's part of that feeling is in there.
Really?
Because like maybe if you love your character so much that no one can ever reach your character, then that probably would upset otakus. I'm trying to understand it.
It is interesting,
I
isn't
prefer it when cosplayers do what they want to do to get closer to the character. I'm just trying to make sense of what we just learned today.
Let me give you some extreme examples. So
Oh, I love extreme.
if you cosplay Jesus,
Oh,
you're not
dear.
Jesus.
Of course.
Yeah.
But if you talk like Jesus, you're gonna get in trouble, right?
If you talk like saying I am Jesus.
Yeah, and like behave as if you were Jesus
Yes.
in public.
Okay,
That's
sure.
a
That's going
problem,
to
right?
lead to some problems.
So yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I
like
see,
in
okay.
Japan, you know, we
Yeah. Extreme respect for fictitious characters.
yes,
Good point.
almost like a religion.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I
Okay,
understand. All right.
got
Well,
it.
thank you for
That was
explaining. That's very
perfect.
helpful.
Very
Yes,
good
helpful.
explanation.
Dear me. Now,
Next one.
we've just mentioned fictitious characters, and here we are. Don't do fictitious cosplays.
That's what you get again a lot at Western conventions when people are like, they have the wig of the character, but they wear something completely else, and they're like, "Hey, I'm Frerin in her summer outfit when it's
Yeah.
a summery day," or "Hey, I am this male character, but today I am wearing a seifku, so it is whatever Shinji-kun in a seifku."
I'm Erin in the snow. Things like this.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
Erin, but today in a Japanese girl's school uniform. or
Yeah,
something.
right.
So don't make the character wear something they do not wear. In Japan. In the West, you can still do it.
Do whatever you like.
But in Japan, you shouldn't really do that.
So it's very interesting because a lot of the cosplay that I see online nowadays, not done by Japanese cosplayers, but done by foreign cosplayers, a lot of it, especially for the females, is kind of a case of they'll say, all right, this is my interpretation of whoever. And it's like character themed bikini modeling. So for instance, if you did your cosplay Yoru at the beach, but there was never an episode in which Yoru went to the beach and put on a swimsuit or something, this is going to cause problems.
But if there is an episode where they went to the beach and you wear the same swimsuit, that is okay.
That's acceptable. So
it's confusing.
So do your homework. Don't just dive in with your interpretation and say, I'm so proud of showing people my interpretation of this.
It should work. Also, sometimes I think there's a gray zone if there has been a figurine done in that outfit.
Oh, yes.
Then
yes.
you can also do that. But if it has never been done, if it does not exist, then you shouldn't be doing it.
This is
yeah. It's again showing how much research have you done into the character.
Yeah.
Maybe you've done a lot of research and you found this one figurine, you thought the figurine was gorgeous and you wanted to dress as that figurine, fine. But just coming up with something that doesn't belong is inappropriate.
Make sure you can defend it if you're asked about it.
Yeah.
Again,
you can do that at anime conventions in the West. No one's going to bother you about that. But you can't do that in Japan. Simple.
You can't do that in Japan. Sums up a lot of experiences, too, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh.
You can't do that in Japan.
But here's one thing you should do when you're cosplaying, and that's a big one, and I do agree with that, is if you cosplay as someone from some sort of game, anime, or show, you should have at least a little bit of knowledge and look up that show.
Yeah.
So don't start cosplaying someone and then have absolutely no idea about the show. Just literally just as if you put on a t-shirt, you just wore a cosplay and you have no idea who you're actually dressed as. It doesn't go down well with other fans, because if you go to events, people will come up to you and be like, hey, you dressed as Ladybeard. Oh my God, which is your favorite Ladybeard song? You know, what did you think in the music video or something? And then you need to be able to answer to that.
If you're like, oh, I just saw it, thought it'd be funny.
And that is kind of, it makes the other person sad and also makes you look like you didn't really care what you put on. And if you spent money on a cosplay, you might as well look a little bit into it. You don't have to watch all the episodes and play the game completely with all the extra bonus rounds, but at least there should be a little bit of knowledge of what the name of your character is and what you're actually doing.
No,
what you
some
like.
basic trivia.
I am very passionate about that because I once watched a streamer who was wearing a Rei Ayanami swimsuit kind of look, and I'm like, oh my God, I have the matching Asuka swimsuit to that. This is fantastic. And she's like, who's that? And I'm like, you're wearing Rei. She's like, I just put it on because it looked nice. And it was like, it made me sad. I'm like, oh, I thought I'd found a common friend.
Yeah, disappointing.
It. You know, it's a bit
disappointing.
Like, oh, you know, it's okay if you just want to put that on, is fine. But it's just, you know, people who love the show will be a bit sad. That's it.
Bit disappointing.
A bit sad. So at least look a little bit into who you're actually dressed as.
Yeah. All
right, there's more though. Now we're moving away from the cosplay part. There is more.
So, Dojin, fan art. Fan art manners. Manners associated with being a fan and making your own art. Fan art.
Dojins are pretty much if you draw pictures of your favorite show in your own way. Some, for example, for some of you BL lovers, you know, you might want to have those characters and those characters together, and they might want to hold hands or something that you never see in the show. Or you just want to have the idea of like, what if a romantic scenario didn't happen between the main boy and the main girl, but maybe between the main boy and a side girl, because I think they're destined for each other. You can live that out in Dojins, so your own fan-published stories.
Old Kazuma and Gretel. When those two got together, like Captain Cuz, he was all in with Mariana in the actual show, but you were always a bit of a fan of Gretel. You wanted Gretel to come butt there more so that Gretel could get into a bit of the old Cuz action.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm making things up, frowned upon in the community. All right, let's keep going. All right.
So if you go overboard a little bit with your fan art or fan manga, you might actually face a ban or a lawsuit. So don't overdo it.
Yeah. So
And
again, I guess it's kind of like what we were saying with the cosplay. Just don't go destroying the image of the character.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Show appreciation and respect is probably the point of it. So also, if you are making like a bit of money of your dojins, it shouldn't be massive profit. It should just cover the cost. It shouldn't draw the revenue away from the original franchise to you.
Yeah, because you're going to get sued.
That's
going to get sued.
That is like a very gray area. And one way dojins are kind of allowed if they support and show love and appreciation for the original content, but if they go too much in the wrong direction, you might get into trouble with that.
You could get a lot of trouble, so you must be careful. Yeah, careful with
even though there's a lot of
dollars.
dojins that go completely off the rails and they exist, so I don't know, but you shouldn't. Be a good otaku.
Frowned upon. This one's very interesting. Make your doujin, make your fan art difficult to find.
Okay, that one is... I have absolutely no words for that.
This is very interesting, isn't it? So here's what's up. If you use the hashtags and all the identifying qualities of the original work, now you're getting your fan art and the original work all mixed up together and nobody knows what's what anymore.
I mean, I understand that, for example, a lot of people like making more a little bit towards adult kind of fan art of their favorite characters, or maybe and change their sexual orientation and stuff like that. So if you upload that with the same hashtag, actual fans might see that and they might get upset because they're like, Naruto, no! Or, you know, some people might feel upset about that.
Oh, and the original artist might be like, that is not what this character's doing in my story.
Yeah.
What have you massacred my creation?
Again, we're going towards appreciation for the characters, and maybe a character that is not sexy is maybe sexy in a dojo, and they're like, I don't want that up on the same hashtag. Can you not?
Yeah, so it's interesting. If you're doing your doujin, you use totally separate hashtags from the original content, and sometimes use things like emojis and whatnot. And now this is because it's designed for the doujin fan community. It's not designed for everyone. It's only you guys who know about it who are going to be consuming this. So you put up hashtags and whatnot that make it available to you and your mates, and that's all.
Don't ruin the original masterpiece.
Yeah. A lot of it just comes down to don't ruin the original work in one form or another.
Like the appreciation and love for the original work should always be there.
Don't muddy the waters of the original work in any way, and don't ruin anyone else's enjoyment of the original work. That's Shiori, are we accurate saying that's really what all of this boils down to?
Yes, in order to show the biggest respect to the original content creators. Don't ruin their creativity. They don't do anything to your famous creators' copyrights or anything.
Makes sense. So next one is be careful with works with real people or creatures.
This is interesting, isn't it?
That is a very interesting one, but I think I have a good example for that one. So if you do your own doujin about, for example, people that actually exist, that's a bit of a gray zone, and they might really not like that. One thing that I learned when I came to Japan, I found Lord of the Rings doujin. That's great. And I opened the doujin and I'm like, oh, it's actually drawn realistically like the actors of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, wow, cool. Oh, okay, they don't do that in the show. So, and I was surprised that is kind of okay because they're real people. And it's like in their likely image, there are things happening between, an elf and a human that don't happen in the show.
Well, unless it didn't involve a dwarf.
I don't know. I didn't read that one. But the one that I saw, I was very surprised about. And I'm like, okay, that is okay here. But I'm not sure if that would be okay for the people who actually acted in it.
Was it an elf and a human, or was it Orlando Bloom?
No, it was Aragorn. It was Aragorn and Legolas. Very, very
extremely
popular.
realistically, so you can see how this could cause offense to the actors involved.
So don't do that either. But apparently, then again, you can. So that's the part where you should just be a bit careful. Well, it was published, so I guess they could, or they did, but you should still be careful.
Well, be careful. You should take caution. You don't want Orlando Bloom coming down on you with that bow and that faux hawk he got at one point. It'll mess you up.
Or maybe you want to. Who knows?
And lastly, in this list of guidelines, very importantly, always confirm things with official guidelines. So if you're unsure about anything, check with the official guidelines, because they're going to have guidelines up on their official pages and whatnot, and make sure you are compliant with whatever their requirements are for cosplaying their stuff.
Shiori, for example, what are common guidelines that pieces would say?
So actually, Anycolor, the famous agent for VTubers, they have their official guidelines regarding their fan arts. So something like you can do this fan art, but if you want to make this fan art, that will not be authorized by the official, or you cannot make it public. Just do it between your friends and don't publish it or anything. To
again not damage the image of the VTuber.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
VTubers are kind of tricky because they're half human, half character.
Yeah, they're in the like Shiori right now. Yeah, they're in the gray zone.
Yeah. So people treat them as if they are an anime character, so they might go too much in public. when it comes, in terms of like making fan arts with doujin stuff.
And since it's also half a human, they might be hurt by that.
Yeah, I see what you said about actual people. Yeah. So let's check the official guidelines. Hey, here's me doing my best VTuber. You know how that's the main thing they do?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Obviously, they do their VTubing, but whenever they're presented as they're going to be in the thing, it's always a shot of them doing this. Right.
All right. Next one. Why do we have these manners?
Am I incorrect? It's not a diss. I'm just saying that's what they do. Watch me. I'll do it.
Yes. So why do we have these manners?
Why do we have these manners, Cathy Cat? Explain.
Otaku culture.
Hey, Shaz, just do this for a sec. Perfect. See?
There we go.
All right.
Okay. So why are otakus so strict on themselves in their own group? One is generally you don't want to rock the boat, upset the public. Also because otaku actually had like a very bad image for a very long time.
Bad rap.
So they're trying to probably also police their own community to not cause a ruckus and have that come back. I didn't know that, but apparently there was an incident in the 1980s where a guy murdered 4 girls. And he called himself an otaku, and he blamed being an otaku why he murdered them. He was claimed like being an otaku blurred the boundaries between reality, fantasy, delusion, led to his criminal behavior and the lack of clear sense of normality, yada yada yada. The kind of stuff that people say when they say, "Oh, video games make people violent." But he claimed it himself after having committed the murder. He claimed it himself. He committed the murder. He actually filmed the girls. It was horrible. So that led to massive negative influence on the whole otaku culture. It was featured apparently in the news and such. So people thought, oh, otakus are just all crazy psychopaths. So there was a massive bad image in the 1980s. Then in the 1990s was when actually the otaku culture started to bloom abroad. That's when Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and like started hitting the world. And then later on followed newer pieces like Bleach or Naruto and such. So abroad it became a good thing. While in Japan it still had a very negative thing.
A bad rap. Wasn't there also that incident? You know how in Akihabara they used to close the street on Sundays and everyone would do cosplay?
There was like a truck that drove into a group of people in Akihabara apparently on purpose because he was just so annoyed with them. So there's a lot of like negative stigma, but then we have a change in the 2000s. That's when Densha Otoko became a popular thing, which is apparently partly based on a true story in a message board. It was this otaku who called himself Densha Otaku, so train otaku. And he actually has helped a girl on the train. She was in trouble. Like some guy was trying to chat her up. She was uncomfortable. So he spoke up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he spoke up for her and like, saved her in that situation. Later on, the police exchanged everyone's details. And she then sends him a gift to say, thanks for looking out for me. No one else did.
Oh, really? Hang on. Well, she was getting harassed or something. And
she was getting harassed on the train. I don't know, like chatted up or some sort. I don't know the exact details because obviously it's a fictional story at this point and they might have changed it a little bit. But girl in trouble. And as an otaku, even though he's an otaku and he was scared, he spoke up and he helped her.
Really?
She thanked him then. I think maybe you usually get like details from the police and she then sent him a gift to say thanks. They get in touch and he certainly is in the situation of, oh, maybe actually, this could be romance. And this story...
Could be romance?
This could be romance.
Oh, romance.
Don't ruin romance!
This could be romance.
No!
Like the Romans?
No!
Legion XXII. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Said this could be
you just
romance.
killed the Romans.
Sorry.
So this romance that happens between both of them became like a national phenomenon, became a movie. So first it went on the message board, then I think it was published somewhere, then it became an anime, it became a movie, it became a TV show, and that changed the image from otaku being crazy psychopath to just socially awkward people who just try to find love.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a nice thing to say about everyone, isn't it? Yeah. Socially awkward, trying to find
people
love.
Who try to find love, and that turned it all towards more of a positive image of otaku. And recently otaku culture, because it's now the West being positive about it and Japan being more positive about it, I think that's why we also see things like oshikatsu, which we've talked about in the podcast. Yes, one of our episodes is about oshikatsu, about having an idol or an anime character you support highly. But I think, winding this one more time back, the reasons why fans are so strict in their own community is many otaku people still tend to be self-correcting to not spread the negative image within their community and outside of their community. Because they don't want to be misunderstood and don't want to bother the general public. Have I wrapped that up well?
You did well, that very well.
Let's wrap that up well.
You probably expected me to back you up at the end there. I totally didn't. I just went, I'm sorry.
There we go.
I'll fix it by doing this. That made it better.
All right. Do you have something to add?
By the time you watch this, I'll be in Australia. It's nearly the end of the tour. If you came to Australia, saw the shows, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Wow, lovely to see you. I appreciate it very much.
All right. I would like you to ramble out a little bit about otaku while I get myself a drink.
All right, I'm going to do a freestyle rap about otaku. Hey, it's me and it's you. It's the otaku. We be staying in our room watching games on the tube because you know it's all about that fiction. It's all about that cosplay. In this situation, you don't want to go and disrespect the original, because if you do, then everyone's upset because you shouldn't cosplay at the mall because just what you're doing there with your fake hair. It doesn't make any sense. So put it over there. Hey. Bunt. I'll start beatboxing now. Bunt. Face roll talk matters now. Bunt. Two microphones. Special message. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shiori. Happy birthday to you. There we
go.
Oh, thank you.
Here you go. Make a wish.
Yay!
Thank you.
I have no idea how old you're getting, but so I only put 5 candles
She's a
on it.
VTuber. She doesn't age.
Exactly.
Right.
So we tried to surprise you.
Oh, thank you. That's why
That's why I kept going over there, and we had to present it now because otherwise it will melt because it's quite hot today. So you can enjoy now your cake. Thank you for always giving us extra information.
Works very
working
hard.
on the script seriously
hard.
and doing so
you.
much hard work. So this cake is for you.
Thank you
and
very much.
Ladybeard is only allowed to look at it because you have so many events coming up.
Oh, thank you. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, you're really good at acting.
I actually forgot about it, to be honest.
So that's why I randomly was like, I'm gonna go over there. No, just do something. We're gonna.
Oh, is that what that was all about? I
Of
thought you were just
course.
saying, don't forget, that's over there. And I was like,
I was like, don't forget that's over there. And later I was like, and now you distract because I know I need to
I
get
see.
the cake.
Oh, well, you,
We made it.
All right.
Hey.
All right, well, that proves that I'm not working for the CIA with ball-catching abilities like that.
This cake has a lot of like flowers and plants, not flowers,
It's
and like
lovely. It
leaves,
looks
and it's pink and
delicious.
has like strawberries and stuff.
Looks
on top and I thought,
delicious. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cathy Cat, for organizing
I'm
that. That's amazing.
glad. I'm glad. I
Dusted
managed
sugar
to
on
keep
top
the
of the fruit
surprise.
there.
Yes, and it's like, I'm so sorry. I need to put that away now. I need to put that away quick.
No,
Put
you
that away.
guys consume cake.
There you go. All right, that's another wholesome episode of Cat with Beard.
Be a good otaku. Don't damage images. Don't offend the general public. Do this more. Goodbye.